Hi, everyone. Welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Polly Jo Labbe, and thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel, Trinity Temple of Sacred Wisdom. We are here tonight as Soul Connections to help you join with your soul, reconnect with what your soul is trying to share with you, how your soul wants to express itself, and how your spiritual team is open to healing and communication for your health and well being. And sometimes we need a little assistance for that. And so that's what I'm here for. We begin each show with a healing meditation to help ground, clear, and balance our energy fields. And then we call in our spiritual teams of the highest and fullest vibration to join us and help us with receiving wisdom for what is about to take place in our lives or how to navigate some sticky situations we might be going through. And then afterwards, I pull a card for each person who wants one. So if you would like a card drawn for you, all you have to do is type in yes, please into the comments, and I'll pull a card for you. I will not pull a card if you don't type in yes, please. I don't want to invade your privacy because sometimes we're just here to visit. But if you'd like a little connection, a little maybe reassurance, then just ask for a card. And today we will be using the Magdalene Oracle. This one is by Tony Carmen Salerno. This one is an ocean of eternal love. Um, and as my cohort Rob had said to me, I guess I'm on a Mary Magdalene kick. Mary Magdalene has been coming in very strongly in healing work and in the card readings, and I'm sure because of our closeness to the Easter season, she's pretty on tap. And I think that's why, today it was a day to put on the Mary Magdalene essential oil that I have so that that energy and that connection could be deeper and more open and filled with that loving vibration and a little fierceness that differs from Mother Mary. So I will be pulling those cards in a little bit. So thank you for being here and for joining us. Ah, hi, Julie. Yes, isn't that a great one? I'm very excited about using this deck. It's so nice to have you in the house, Miss Julie. And so, yes, we're going to get ourselves settled for our healing meditation. So, what I invite you to do is get comfy in your chair or whatever you're sitting on, laying on, and just try to let your day go. And we're going to start with a couple of really deep breaths. And with each breath, I just want you to breathe in clarity and release excess energy. Breathe in clarity and release excess thoughts. And breathe in clarity and release excess stress. And breathe in clarity. And just gently release any tightness in your body. Allow your muscles to finally just relax and let the chair or the bed or the floor just support you fully. Don't worry about your stomach sticking out. Let your shoulders relax. Maybe open and close your jaw in case it's very tight in there. And just gently begin to bring your awareness to your physical body and notice any places where you may feel tight, sore, achy. Just allow the divine energy to relax your muscles, relax the caught energy, creating ease and flow in all of those tight places. And we're going to bring our attention to the center of our heart, our high heart, and our heart chakra. And you may sense them as one location. You may sense them as three separate energies. Or we're going to invite them to come together in this moment like a three-layered heart. And we're going to ask our heart in its fullness to gently calm our energy field, filling it with love, nurturing, support, reassurance. And as the heart is beating that energy through our chakras, through our system, just imagine a beautiful thick cord coming down from the heart and anchoring and centering and grounding your third chakra right below it, calming all that fire energy, bringing all of your stress into balance, bringing any anxiety or frustration or anger into a calmer state, into a calmer place. And making sure that your fire is full and ready for creating and being passionate about you and your life and your experiences. And now asking our heart to use that cord to connect to our second chakra below our belly button, connecting to all of that water and bringing the water into balance, the ebb and the flow, the gentle rhythm of giving and receiving, the gentle flow of experiencing our sensations, of accessing our creative juices, and really being able to celebrate and express the fullness of who we are in all the ways we can imagine. And then asking the heart to extend its cord through our root chakra, balancing our earth, our foundation, the sturdiness and steadiness, bringing balance into our body, into our home, into our finances, into our work, into our primary relationships. And as that cord continues down through the root chakra, down toward the earth, sensing the earth star chakra beneath our feet. Many people experience this as Metatron's cube or a Merkaba shape beneath the feet, about 2 to 3 feet beneath the earth, sometimes deeper. And think of that as the gateway for us plugging into the earth energy. And it is directly connected. to the heartbeat of Grandmother Earth and the divine feminine energy. And when you plug into your Earth star, you can feel Grandmother Earth recharging your personal batteries, filling you with energy, with love, with clearing and healing, and this unconditional support as that juice comes back up through your feet and your knees and your legs, filling the root to overflowing, filling up to your second chakra, filling your spine, filling your belly and all your organs, and filling up into your heart and feeling how loving and supportive that is. And now asking the divine above to also ground and connect us, connect with us. And we're going to start at the heart once more. And we're going to extend our cord of connection through our upper chakras to connect into the divine. So imagine a cord now going up into your throat, grounding, balancing, and clearing all the ways that you are meant to express yourselves, all the ways that you've had difficulty being seen or being heard. Any words that went unspoken that are caught in your throat. Any words that were spoken in harshness that has left that cutting sensation within your throat. Healing all those with a soothing energy of love and forgiveness. And allowing it to ease the tension in the back of your head and your neck and your shoulders. The weight of the words that you've carried. And now imagine that cord extending up into your third eye in the middle of your forehead. Balancing all of your senses, your five senses, your sixth sense of intuition, your seventh sense of your higher self's intuition, all coming together to bring balance into your brain, into your logic and your creativity, bringing balance into many areas of your life, calming any spinning thoughts you may be having, expanding your perception so that you can have an eagle's view of what is unfolding in your life. And then asking our cord of connection to connect through our crown, our beautiful lotus that is crystal and with each petal connects to a fuller and brighter divine energy. And then asking that cord to move up to our soul star above our chakras, above our head. Some people call it the eighth chakra, some call it the soul chakra. Some see it as the root of the higher self. But once again, we are going to plug in to the divine energy above. Fully connected, fully open. Anchoring again in that star, in that Merkaba, in that cube, yet connected to Sandalphon. and the divine energy connects deep within to our star, and feeling the flow of the unconditional love coming through and connecting, recharging our energy, recharging our spiritual connection, recharging our emotional state, our mental being, even our health, as it all connects and anchors within the heart. And allowing the energy in the heart to mix and mingle as above and so below. Allowing that heart energy to radiate out through each layer of our aura, cleansing, restoring, and repairing where it is needed. And in this sacred space, asking that an extra sturdy layer of protection be placed around us, placed in the room that we are in, and allowing you to connect to the sacred temple that the ancient ones, the ancient masters, gather in to fill and share wisdom, and that all healing and all connection is for the good of all and harm to none, as always. And the ancient ones invite into the temple, into the hall, your spiritual team, your angels, your guides, your star beings, your mystical creatures, the animals, all divine of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to you in this moment. And as you feel your team gathering close to share wisdom and love and connection, just taking a moment to allow whatever energy wants to be shared with you, any messages, any colors, any feelings, just allow them to come through in this moment. And now inviting our spiritual teams to communicate together so that information can be shared through the cards that will be used as messenger guides today for anyone who's seeking wisdom for themselves and even for others. And just take a moment to feel the expanse of the temple and its sacredness, knowing that anytime you wish to return, you are welcome. And we're going to leave our spiritual connection open so that we can communicate clearly with our team. But we're going to bring our awareness back to our humanness in this moment. And you'll begin to just feel the weight of gravity pushing down on your shoulders, on your legs, on your arms, allowing you to feel the weight of and the density of your body. Maybe you notice the feeling of your clothes or the sounds around you. You may hear things or sense things with the light, or maybe there are smells that are coming to you, and each of those things are bringing you closer and closer to your awareness and your ability to be right back here in the present moment. So you might want to yawn or stretch. Anything that's a little tight, maybe rub your hands together, rub your feet on the floor, rub your hands on your legs, whatever. Just bring yourself back into this moment so we can share it together. And welcome back. I hope that helped some of you bring yourself into connection, maybe released a little stress, a little tension. And yeah, thank you for gathering in our sacred community. So today's deck, for those of you who don't know, oh, how do you get the oil from me? Great question. You can go on to, oh my goodness, Trinity Mystical Energy. And you will find, if you type in Trinity Mystical Energy, you will find my website. And if for some reason that's still a little reactive, because it's been a little picky right now, you can always message me and we can order it through PayPal. So thanks, Julie, for asking that. Yes, and you can go to trinitysacredtemple.com as well. And even you can message me through Facebook or give me a call. Thanks for asking. It's a beautiful oil, though, Julie. It's one of my favorites. Well, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, some of the archangels. And I have a really soft spot for Isis, too. So, the Magdalene Oracle, which is An Ocean of Eternal Love by Tony Carmen Salerno. That's what we're going to be pulling our cards from. We've been on a Mary Magdalene kick. And I feel like she's present at this time of year. Not that she's not present year round, but I've been feeling the divine feminine energy is stronger in wanting to be connected. Not that it's overpowering the masculine energy, but it's finally wanting to have some of its own voice to be heard a little more clearly again. And Mary Magdalene is a very beautiful, strong voice to help us out. So that's who we're using tonight. So if you would like me to pull a card and share the wisdom that I get from the card, just type in yes, please, and I'd be happy to pull a card for you. And I pull cards until we're done. So I won't leave anybody out who asks while we're live, because that's just not how I work. All right, guys, let's see who's asked already. Andrew, nice to have you. I love having you around. It's great. So you got Magdalene herself. And you can see that she's in deep connection, that you have all of the swirls on her, which I always, they remind me of the goddess swirl, but they also remind me of Reiki symbolism in its way too, which can symbolize the divine feminine as well. So what I'm getting for you with Magdalene is taking some time to find that place of connection for yourself. Her faith was really in the center of her being. And the reason she was the first apostle was that, Jesus knew that she carried that faith so strongly that he appeared to her first, because it showed her there was beyond any doubt, that the divine energy was real. And the sacredness of that gift she carried with her, and she nourished other people with that, the beauty of that gift. And so what I'm seeing for you is that, find that in you. Find what connects you deeply to your creativity, what connects you deeply to that strong sense of self. Are you doing your music? Are you doing your artistry through food? Are you taking time in nature? Are you having time to laugh and play? Because we sometimes take life too seriously, and we're meant to be an expression of love. So, how can you express your divine love with others, but mostly with yourself? And I'm feeling like maybe some meditating, or maybe a class that appeals to you, or um, going for a walk or doing yoga, something that just really. And some people, my grandfather meditated when he was fishing. He probably wouldn't have called it meditating, but when you hear, he would get into the rhythm of the water and the nature around him till that's all he heard and he was part of it. Well, hello, that's meditation. And what happened? It washed all his stress away. So maybe that's what you do. So it's allowing yourself that connection so you can fill your own cup. Because remember, we carry our own holy grail within us, and that's the cup we're filling. And don't you want that elixir to be with you everywhere you go? Love it. Thanks for coming. It was very nice to have you here. Oh, hi, Mary. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're with us. Oof, this one's fun. So your card is the Matrix. And I'm sure you can see all the different colors, and it has a similar shape and feel to a mandala. So the Matrix, for me, the way I experience this card is that it's the interconnection that we have. Not We're interconnected with each other as humans. We're interconnected with nature, with earth. We're interconnected with the divine, the cosmos. It's like we're all part of the same web. If grandmother spider made a cosmic web, we'd all be connected through this matrix. And each part is as important as the next part. And sometimes when we're feeling insignificant, we don't realize that our personal being here is truly needed in a moment. And sometimes we don't even know that we're helping out the matrix. It can be sometimes just something you do automatically that can shift something for someone else, right? So, you know, seeing the clerk at the grocery store might be, having a rough day, and taking time and and telling them what a good job they're doing, or slowing down the line so that they can get grounded enough to be present in their job and not feel that they're always being rushed. Or maybe it's holding the door for somebody who's struggling. Or maybe it's putting your grocery cart away so that, if it's cold or raining or snowing, the person inside doesn't have to retrieve it for you. It's little things that we can just do that are so kind, that help keep the matrix moving and connected. So it's that energy of treat others the way you would like to be treated, but that also the energy of every little thing is not so little. It can have a big impact. And I know you make a big impact. I can feel that the way you spread your joy out there. So keep doing that because you're feeding more than because we're not just starving for food, we're starving for awareness, for attention, for being visible. You know, saying hello to somebody can be the difference for them in an entire day if they're struggling, because then they feel seen and appreciated. So uh, keep spreading your joy throughout the matrix, because I just see this like light, you keep lighting up little spots, and they need it. So thank you and keep doing it. It's very helpful, very supportive. Thanks, dear. Of course, Miss Julie. Oh, this one's fun. So you got the Universal Christ card. So, some people will say Christ consciousness as the universal Christ. And other people will talk about the fact that, for me, I experience certain masters on a certain frequency, right? And so, Kuan Yin and Mother Mary, for example, for me, they are on the same frequency. And so that universal Christ energy is this particular frequency that, he reached, that others can reach or have reached. Um, and in that energy, it's that healing energy that he was sharing with the planet. It wasn't about religion. It was about love. And in that place, he just could love even in death, right? Even in death, he was forgiving and he was in love energy. And that transcended, the color of the skin or the sex of the person, or, where they were from or what religion, like all those things that we use to differentiate. He saw them as almost non-existent, right? You don't love, you know, um, a flower differently, because of its color. Oh, I don't like that. Well, maybe you do. But, roses each one smells different, but they're still beautiful, whatever color they are. And so in that universal Christ energy, what I'm seeing is tapping into that vibration of love, that really highly centralized energy, especially when doing healing work. So it's a very white light with a golden energy to it. It shimmers. That's probably the best word I can describe it as. And so accessing that when you're doing your healing work, accessing it when you're doing any um, readings with clients. He's in the cosmos, as we all are. So even when you're tapping into the beauty and the synchronicity of the astrology and how it relates to our life purpose, um, allow that universal Christ energy to pour through that, so that you and your client are experiencing a deeper spiritual meaning um, behind the messaging. That's interesting. And don't be afraid to tap into his energy and ask for his help. People sometimes think he's too busy. And yeah, think of the golden light coming from the palms, and that at any point when you activate that for yourself to share, you're activating him through you. Does that make sense? So, all right. I hope that made sense. Message me if it didn't. All right. Thanks for joining tonight. Oh, thank you, Mary. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. All right. Deanna. Hello, little fairy lady. What have we got for you? This one's nice. So it's the eternal embrace. And you can see the gentleness, but you can also see the fire, right? And so the eternal embrace is reminding us that even if somebody's not with us, they're still with us. Um, so when we're embodied, we can feel the fiery passion of connection, and we can feel um, all the sensations that come with love and in friendship and in relationships. And when somebody passes, we may not have the physical reminders of that um, energy, but we are always connected to them eternally. Um, and some people are gifted enough to feel the presence of another, and you can actually feel the hug, the embrace, or maybe a kiss on the forehead, letting you know that someone is nearby. But when we're in relationships, we are often just focused on the moment, which is good. um, but when we're really establishing a heart connection, it's using that eternal flame. I'm seeing like um, the tomb for JFK, where there's the eternal flame, and the eternal flame is that the that connection will always be present. Sometimes it can shape shift, but it's still that flame is still there. And it's bringing into your awareness that how deep are you willing to connect? And are you willing to create an eternal embrace? Or is that a little daunting? um, because sometimes we're afraid of commitment, or we're afraid of giving away too much of our heart because we feel like we're giving it away, not realizing that we can give until the cows come home, because we have a never ending flow in there. It's a flame that never goes out, right? So look for that flame inside and really embrace it for yourself. And then see what ways you can share it. Because there's many ways to do that to make an impact. And that feels perfect for you. I hope that makes sense. Have a great night, and thank you for being with us. I really appreciate having you here. Oh, Julie, thank you so much. Glad you're here, and love to see your happy face. Margaret, hello, dear. So this is an interesting card. It's the decision card. And you can see that full moon energy and that drop coming down. And, what I'm getting for you is sometimes we have decisions to make. It's kind of being human. That's what the free will thing is all about. We have to choose. So, and sometimes decisions can feel really, really huge. So we don't make them, or we delay them, or we drag them out. And really what it's showing is that every decision is just a drop in the ocean. And when it's just a drop in the ocean, you can just make another one quickly and instantly if it's not the one that feels right. Um, Decisions aren't fatal, is what I'm hearing in my head. You know, um, if you don't like it, make a new one. um, and that that stuck energy of indecision can really impact not just our thoughts, but it can impact our emotional being. It can impact us physically. I can feel like headaches, tension headaches coming in the back of the neck and the back of the head, maybe even migraines. It can create like upset stomach and dizziness. And just making a decision and not worrying about whether it's right or wrong, and then letting it settle for a minute and then seeing, okay, is that really what I want? And if not, then make another decision. Um, yeah, it's not fatal. um, and, like 3 months from now, the decision will feel minuscule if you even remember all the turmoil that the decision is causing. And if it isn't causing you it right this very second, it's coming in the next week. So just be open-minded to many possibilities. There's never just two. The divine never leaves us with just two choices. So allow yourself to be open to some different possibilities and different approaches, and ask your team for guidance. Uh, which one is right for me in this moment? And they'll be right there for you. I can feel it. They're so present. So enjoy that. Take that time and just make that decision. It'll be great. All right, dear. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you came tonight. The hostess with the mostest. Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoy having you here. Oh, hi, Julie. Welcome. We got another Julie in the house. That's awesome. I know a lot of Julies. Be fun if you all were in the room at the same time. So, your card is confusion, except it's not a scary looking confusion. It's got all the beautiful blues and reds and whites and golds. And so what I'm sensing from this card for you is that you're getting some mixed signals, and sometimes our logic brain tries to make sense out of things that just don't make sense. And if your gut is telling you one thing, listen to your gut. Or if your heart is telling you one thing, listen to your heart. But we can talk ourselves out of anything. And so the confusion comes when logically it seems one way, in our heart it feels another way, or our heart feels, or like intensely one way, and then family or friends are negating that or dismissing that, and making it difficult for us to feel like our intuition is real or it's truly guiding us. Or they're uncomfortable because the decision might impact them. um, and so in that place of confusion, what I'm seeing for you is to just get quiet, do some automatic writing, um, ask, questions of your higher self. Why am I in a state of confusion? Um, what lesson am I trying to learn? Um, how can I release the confusion and lean into more clarity? Um, and anything else that may pop in that feels right for you. Um, because lots of times when we do that type of intense journaling, Asking questions. It's totally fine. It's just like talking it out with friends. But we can talk it out with our spiritual team too. And allow yourself when you're doing that to be bratty if you need to be. If you, I don't want to do this. Why does it feel like you're making me do this? Go ahead. Because those are the real fears that are holding us back. And sometimes they just need voicing. And that's what the confusion is. But don't let your logical self talk you out of what your heart knows to be true. Because that always stinks. It because we knew it. Afterwards we're like, oh, I knew it, but I didn't listen. So listen. It's actually, it might seem like the harder choice, but it's better in the long run. All right, my dear. I hope you have a really beautiful evening. Thank you for joining us. Oh, you are very welcome, Margaret. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Julie. Yes, it's always true that the messages are for everybody who's listening. They're never just one card for you. And, I always sit back and absorb them after, when the show is done. It's, I look back through the cards and I remember, what was important for me to hear from each of them, because that's why it's so powerful to do work in a community. That's why I really love being able to do this as a group. So thank you. There have been great nuggets in there. Jackie, nice to have you. All right. This is one of my mom's favorite words. Serendipity. And you can see above the head all the flames, and below she's leaning into the flames. So serendipity is synchronicity, coincidences. When things happen in divine timing and you're like, look at that. That happened exactly when it needed to and exactly at the right timing. And if you haven't been having these moments recently, they're going to intensify no matter what in this upcoming week. And so your team is saying, look for them, look for the patterns of, you think about a friend and then all of a sudden the phone rings and they're on the other end. You are running late and to a very important, appointment or meeting, and you get all green lights on your way there. And, it was 7 lights. So the mathematical probability of you hitting 7 green lights, right? There are things like that that let us know that our team is there and helping us when we ask for help. And if you need things to be clearer or for you to know that your team is more present, just ask for signs. My team was very clear about recently that when my angelic team is guiding me, I'm going to see feathers. When my goddess team is leading me, I'm often going to see birds or pennies. And that's okay. It lets me know not only that I'm being led, but that I have more than one team. Um, because and birds don't have to be physical birds. It can be a truck going by you with a bird logo on it. You're like, okay, I see that. It's here. So don't pass things off as coincidence this next week. And when you have them, say thank you. As soon as you realize that it's serendipitous, thank you. More, please. Because then they'll bring it in even more frequently. and see how fast it can come in for you by the end of the week. It's a nice challenge. It's a fun one too to play with if you haven't done it before. I love doing that. All right. Have a great rest of your week, and thanks for joining us. Oh, you're very welcome, Julie. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Rachel, hi again. Nice to have you. Oh, don't think badly on this word. So the card is purgatory. People are like, oh gosh, it can have some strong triggered feelings. Let me put it that way. Purgatory is really is very similar to what we've been talking about when you're in a place of indecision. When we're in that place where we don't take action and we don't move and we freeze, that's really the definition of purgatory, of hell, when we allow life to happen around us, but we aren't living in it. I guess that's how my team wants to say it. So, the other thing that comes in is, we create our own hell, because we get in our own way sometimes. And so in the place of purgatory, it's that energy of, that there's decisions to make, that there's change to make. And your inner child is laying on the floor, having a tantrum, kicking and screaming, saying, I don't want to, you can't make me. True, absolutely. But then you stay in this frozen state until that becomes too painful to stay in. So you get to determine how long you stay in that state of purgatory. And you could end it tomorrow if you wanted to. So again, the decisions that are being asked to be made are not as big as you think. Just lean into what feels right in your heart. If you close your eyes and you imagine the outcome of the decision one way, how does it make you feel? If you close your eyes and think of the decision's outcome a different way, how does it make you feel? What do you see for your future? There was a point where I was at this crossroads in, was I going to really lean into doing healing work full time? Or was I, going to have another job and do it part time? And when I envisioned like 3 years out, still working and not being fully in my gift, all I saw was black. It was like there was no light. And then when I saw the other way, I saw laughter and joy and sunshine and and it was like that wasn't such a hard choice. It seemed really hard in the moment because you're always worried about money and different things like that. But it was like, I don't need darkness in my life. I don't need the heaviness and the sadness. Whatever's going to bring light and joy into my life, yeah, I got to do that. And things that are holding me back, the money will work itself out. It always does. If we're lined up with what our soul wants to experience, the divine is like always got our back, and we'll be there and make sure that we're taken care of. Because when our soul sings, that song just that joyful song just radiates out and is so healing for other people too. And we need it right now. We really need it on the planet. So yeah, get to it, my dear. Thanks for being here. Hi, Ellen. Welcome. Nice to have you. Yep. The surrender card. You and Rachel should hang out. So the surrender card is really like stop trying. Um, what I'm hearing is, stop trying to make things happen. Whenever we're trying to make things happen, we're pushing against the divine energy flow and we're not allowing in the magic. And when we have a bunch of stuff that's up and we feel super anxious or overwhelmed by all of it, we can rev up our energy and we can make it almost impossible to have joy because we're using all of our energy to create the what if scenarios in our head. And so the most vulnerable thing we can do is surrender, like, okay. Not that you give up, but you're like, fine. I'm allowing whatever to transpire, and I'm going to stop pushing and let things unfold the way they're meant to. And it might seem like it's going to be difficult or something, but the reality is when we surrender, we're not tense anymore. Our muscles relax and it allows us to soften into the moment, soften into the divine embrace, soften into the possibilities that in our thinking brain we can't even imagine. It's time to get out of that black and white thinking of right and wrong, or it can only be one way or the other way. That's just not how things are made up. Not in the divine. There's always a multitude of options and things that you can manifest and create. So tap into that and see how you do. Um, Hand it over and just let things go and unfold the way they're meant to. Hardest thing to do, but sometimes it's also the easiest. All right, dear. I hope that helps for this week. Have a great one. Oh, you are welcome. Thanks for being here, Rachel. Hello. Nice to have you. All right. Your card, Ash, is little children. All those swirls. So, what I'm sensing for you is I'm seeing all of these like little inner children around you. And maybe it's actual children, but it feels more inner child. And everybody's holding this little tiny birthday candle to kind of light the way. And the divine energy is so gentle with children. And, and the divine mother energy is so, so loving and scoops up the little children. So what I'm seeing is, you know, giving a little more light, a little more spark, a little more attention to the inner child, not only in yourself, but in the people around you. We can sense when their child self is hasn't been able to come out and play. We can sense when our trauma is showing or someone else's trauma is showing. And we treat wounded animals gently, right? We approach with caution. We let them acclimate to us. They sniff us, they let us know whether they're comfortable or not. And we don't always give the same loving kindness to other humans. So that really quiet spot that wants its light to be bigger than a little birthday candle. They want their flame to actually be brighter. And sometimes it's scary when we've been in the dark with only a tiny bit of light to guide us. I certainly know how that can be, you know? And when we're in those dark places, just any light sparking is helpful. So imagine, we're having a power outage, um, and inside all the houses are the children, and it was your job to go house to house and give them a light so that they could see more clearly in the dark, and doing it in a very gentle and loving way. So I'm seeing you doing that for yourself and sharing that with the people around you. And if you need ideas or inspiration on how to do that better, there's a ton of healers in this group, myself included, who'd love to help you out if you need it. So just reach out. Um, but it's time for us to take care of those inner children so that we take care of the children on the planet as well. All right. Thank you for joining us, Ash. Nice to have you. Nikki, hi. Welcome. All right. You got the God card. How beautiful. It's so interesting, when the God card comes up, because people may have difficulty with that word. I like to use divine because I find it's less triggering. God can have a lot of connotations, but what I'm feeling for you is that sometimes we, as women, sometimes we will connect more to the divine feminine, or even as men connect more to the divine feminine, because the divine masculine's gotten a bad rap of being this evil punisher kind of guy. But really, if we're thinking about, each one of us is a divine expression of all that is, then we're part of that. We're part of that expression. And so how can you call the divine energy in for yourself in a more balanced and full way? When I call in for meditation, for healing, for channeling, for messages, I call in the divine feminine and the divine masculine, because I know some parts of me see them separately still. And so that way I'm not leaving any part of my spiritual team out. I'm not leaving any part of myself out. And we all have feminine and masculine energy, and we need both. They serve different purposes. It's only when we do them in the shadow, it doesn't matter whether it's masculine or feminine. If we're doing it in the shadow, we're doing it in the shadow. So maybe look at your relationship with the divine and find out what you have in common. What you love about yourself is also a reflection of the divine. And maybe that could shift your experience in some ways. And anything you don't like, maybe it's a reflection of something inside you that's ready to be healed, so that you can even love that part of you. And maybe it's just that you don't adhere to somebody else's version of what that is, or description. Maybe do some automatic writing on, who or what is the divine for me, and let yourself lean into that. This deck is created in the essence of Mary Magdalene, and so you can call on her to help you with that, because she was very much embraced in the feminine. She was a high priestess in Egypt. She was very much in the feminine, divine feminine, and the masculine. and she found a way to the wholeness. So maybe just connecting with her will help heal any of that for you and for all of us. So thank you for being here for this, because we all definitely needed that card. Thank you very much. I needed the message of surrender too, Julie. That one's going to stick with me. So easy to push. You want to move into a healing modality for work. What do I need to know? All right, let's see, Sophie. Sophie, yes, Sophie. All right, so Gaia. So one of the things, that I teach, I have a healer training school, and one of the things that I teach is that, you have to be very grounded. You have to be very connected to the earth energy. It's really easy to get up in the ethers and not want to come back down. So what I'm seeing for you is, what do you need to know is you need to know how to stay grounded. And you need to know how to clear your energy field efficiently. And you need to have a support team, not just on the etheric level, but when we work with others in the healing modalities, we are also going to uncover our own healing journey and our own woundings that need assistance. So for my students, because we do very deep work, so we'll even do past lives and work in multiple dimensions. So most of my students are going to have a therapist. They're going to have somebody that they exchange healing with, or they have a trusted mentor. And you were going to want to have really super good boundaries. Because if you don't, you'll notice them getting tempted, pushed. Those boundaries will get pushed. And every time you go through another upgrade in your healing energy and what you offer as a modality, then often you have to upgrade your healing team, and you often have to upgrade how much you charge. And so those are all really, really important. I took a leap of faith, and because I knew I had to do it. And I knew that, if I couldn't make enough money at it, I was willing to work at McDonald's even just to pay my bills if I had to. But that didn't happen. The divine made sure that didn't happen. And, I just got very clear with my spiritual team, how much money I needed to make to feel comfortable. And I needed a sacred space to practice in. Learn how to remove cords with your clients if you don't already. And make sure your aura is very secure and protected, because otherwise, sometimes, healers get sick because they don't have that energetic boundary. So if you have any additional questions, I'd be happy to assist you with that. And what I'm feeling is you just need to start. Just make the transition, even if you do it one day a week or a couple hours a week, just to get your toes wet, go for it. And the more you feel in sync with your heart and your true essence and your intuition, the hows and whys and wherefores, it'll all show up. The divine will lead the way. And I would love to have another healer on the planet. So go for it, girl. Thanks for joining us. You're welcome, Nikki. Thanks. Ah, perfect. That's awesome. Yes. You're welcome. All right, so this one is for Shay.
My apologies. Messages were coming in and playing funky.
Yes, that's okay. So, I know I did a card for Ash, but I didn't do one for Shay. So I'm assuming that's what they're asking. Um, and if not, well, we all got another card. Gotcha. Perfect. Perfect. I can't see the feed very well, so Rob has to show it to me because otherwise I get distracted. So Shay, your card is Heart and Soul. No, you don't have to wait. Here you go. So Heart and Soul is a very similar message that, people are getting, which is it's time to really reach into that heart space. Feel what's calling you. Feel what your soul is just yearning to do. One of the exercises I do with my students sometimes is if money weren't an an object or if it wasn't in control, what would you be doing right now? How would you be living? And let that inner child part of you take the magic wand and create. And don't put any, doubts in it or that can't happen or, that's impossible. Like, you don't know that. We don't know that. We're human. So if you lead with your heart and soul, you can't go wrong. You just can't. When when you lead with your logic brain, yes, it will keep you safe in certain situations. And yes, it's fantastic when you're doing things like your taxes. But what is your soul yearning to express? How does it want to show up on the planet? Does it want to be more creative? Does it want to live more organically? Does it, does it want to be in more sunshine? Does it want to move? Um, do you have a gypsy in your heart who just wants to travel and experience? Um, but can you hear that passion of possibilities as I'm speaking different things? That's what your heart and soul should feel like. And if you don't have something that does that for you right now, then it's time to listen and do that exercise. What does my soul want to tell me today? Or how does my heart want to express itself? Or how can I share my love of whatever with the world so that the world is filled with more love energy? Who knows, right? And everything that we truly love and everything that we are born to express, we're not meant to suffer or go without when we share our divine gifts with the planet. People are really starting to see that they can survive and thrive doing and being who they love. And don't let what other people think overtake what you know in your heart, because those other people don't live inside your body with you. Only you, inside you, gets to make those choices. So let your heart and soul lead you. They're beautiful and they want to share and express like in this big, big way. So go for it. And I hope you join us again soon. It was nice having both of you here. The energy is beautiful. Oh, you are so welcome, Sophie. I hope that helped. Ah, you're very welcome. Thank you very much. Glad you guys were here. Okay. When Rob signals, this is the end. So I love this. You literally got the family tree. I don't know. It looks like Christmas to me, though. There you go. So, Rob, your card is family. And, we're like, again, everything's been today. Like, we're interconnected. We're connected to our family. They're our foundation. They're the trunk of our tree. And, we may blossom and bloom differently, but, they're the roots, the foundation of what we were brought up on. But we can be our own variety of tree, and we can flourish in different ways. And what I'm seeing for you is that that family energy is important to you. Don't dismiss it. And family doesn't have to just be our blood relatives. You know, I definitely have a community of people who are my family that, we're just we're just a spiritual community, or we're healer friends, but it's like they're my soul sisters or my soul brothers, or they're your mates, right? They get you, they know you, they see you, they accept you no matter who you are or what you do. I mean, I think the big message for the evening is be you. And when you lead with your heart and your soul and share that with the world, then people are just going to see the real you and love the real you. And if they don't, then just, I have so much empathy that goes out, because imagine what their experience is if they can't share love, and they don't feel safe to be who they are. Then, what kind of existence are they experiencing? And don't you just want to pick them up and snuggle them and give them a big hug? I know I do. um, so embrace your family ties, whether it's your spiritual family, your physical family. It's important. It nourishes us, and it also gives us some backbone when we're not feeling 100%. Family can be there to help pick up the slack. And don't be too proud to not let them. It's there's amazing vulnerability in allowing yourself to receive help from others. That's the perfect message for all of us this evening. So thank you guys so much for joining us. One of us, yes. And this was Soul Connection. Yes, I can imagine you were the sap. um, so this has been Soul Connections with Polly Jo Labbe. If you haven't already liked our YouTube channel, Trinity Temple of Sacred Wisdom, please do so. Like and subscribe so you can get notified when we have more of these shows every Monday. And also for our new show that's coming quite soon, Wisdom of the Ancients, where we will gather in the sacred temple with the original 13 ascended masters, and they will share wisdom of the ages that we need to hear now in here. So, and with that, you guys, like us on Facebook, and you can always message me through there. And I guess I'll just say bye for now.